Hi to all the Form 5 students. Today I would like to read the textbook for Form 3. This is because the SPM exam will cover the syllabus from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4 and Form 5. So the Form 3 is one of the most important basic of the mathematics that you must master before you go for your SPM exam, mathematics paper 1 and paper 2 on the 10th of March 2022, right? So let's get started with the class of revision, mathematics Form 3. Now, first of all, I would like to go through the important topic that you must recall. For Form 3, the first chapter will be indices. So you have to know index notation, law of indices. There are so many laws, so we'll go through later. Chapter 2 will be standard form, significant figures and standard form. Normally this one will come out in paper 1 objective question. And chapter 3 will be consumer mathematics, savings and investments. Savings and investment, credit and debt management. This is very popular in the coming exam. And chapter 4 will be skill drawings. It's also one of the favorite topic in exam. And chapter 5 will be trigonometric ratio, sine, cosine, tangent of acute angles in right angle triangles. Alright, so we have chapter 6 right now. Chapter 6 will be angles and tangents of circles, angle at the circumference, and central angle subtended by R, cyclic quadrilaterals, tangents of circles, angles and tangent of circles. Chapter 7 will be plan elevation. Plans elevation. So basic concept is OP, orthogonal projection, plan and elevations. Chapter 8 will be loci in 2 dimensions. Loci in 2 dimensions. And chapter 9 will be straight lines. Straight lines. So all these are the basic for Form 3. So basically we will go through the important formula. Alright, symbol and formula. Now when you see this symbol, it means root. This is pi. Right? This one is with 2 dots is ratio of A to B. This is A times to the 10 power n is a standard form. This is very important. A can be more than or equal to 1 but less than 10. And then n is an integer that must be integer for the n. Right. So this symbol is equal to, this is approximately equal to, is that, and this is not equal to, and this is more than, and this is more than or equal to, less than or equal to, triangle, angle, degree, minutes, and seconds, right? So these are the basic symbol. Now I would like to show you the important formulae for Form 3. This is the indices law. Multiply, it become plus. Divide, it become minus, right? And if multiply here, it will be multiplied like this. Okay, then any number to the power of 0 is 1, right? And then this is indices law. When bring down, it will be positive n, and then this is 1 over n, so this is the n and this is the root. Okay, example 2, 1 over 2, we can write as square root of 2, here 2. So if here 3, here will be 3, right? Okay, if a power m over n, you can write as m inside, multiply, and these two can change the place, alright? Then same thing for this one, we can write the root. This is the root n, and this is the power. The bracket m can be putting outside. Oh wow, this is a very important simple interest. I equal to PRT, maturity value. Please remember, maturity value is very important, and this is also very important. A equal to P plus PRT. Right, these are the three important formula for the consumer mathematics. And sin theta is so, right? SOH. Cos theta is cha kway teow, cha. And tangent theta will be TOA. And all these are important concepts. Now let's go to tangent theta is sin theta over cos theta. This is important formula for you. Pythagoras theorem. Remember, the longer one square will be equal to the two shorter one square and sum up, right? So if you want to change a position, meaning that the b square as a position here, so this one will bring over to be minus, or a square will be c square minus b square. And this formula is important, how to find the distance between 2 points. Right, midpoint also you must know how to find the midpoint. And the gradient is always, the concept of gradient is always vertical distance over the horizontal distance. Okay, vertical distance over the horizontal distance. Then we have, that's why we have the y2 minus y1 over the x2 minus x1 for gradient. Or we can say gradient is the y-intercept divided by x-intercept. Right, so we have two ways to find the gradient. So it's either m equal to negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Remember, there is a negative, but if you forgot this formula, you can always start from the original formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's all for the formulae for the Form 3 syllabus. So I'm going to go through the important concept for each of the topic. Right, for this one, index notation is important elements in the development of mathematics and computer programming. The use of positive indices was introduced by René Descartes, 1637, a well-known French mathematician. Sir Isaac Newton, a well-known British mathematician, developed the field of index notation and introduced negative indices and fractional indices. So the word bank for this topic is base. Base, factor index, fractional index, power, root, and index notation. Right, so what is index notation? What is repeated multiplication in index form? The development of technology not only makes most of our daily tasks easier, it also saves expenses in various fields. For example, the use of memory card in digital camera enable users to store photographs in a large number and to delete or edit unsuitable photographs before printing. So the learning standard is represent repeated multiplication in index form and describe its meaning. In the early stage, memory cards were made with a capacity of 4 MB. The capacity increased over time to meet the demand of users. Do you know that the capacity of memory card is calculated using a special form that is 2 power n? In Form 1, you have learned that 4 power 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. The number of 4 power 3 is written as in index notation. 4 is the base and 3 is the index or exponent. The number is read as 4 to the power of 3. Hence, a number in index notation or in index form can be written as a to the power of index, and a is the base, right? So you have also learned that 4 power 2 is 4 times 4 and 4 power 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. For example, 4 times 4 is 4 power 2. The value of index is 2, repeated 2 times. The value of index is the same as the number of times 4 is multiplied repeatedly. So if 4 times 4 times 4 will be 4 power 3, and the value of index is 3, repeated 3 times. The value of index is the same as the number of times 4 is multiplied repeatedly. Right? Okay, so let's see this one. So if 6 times, we will write 5, 6. 3 times, we will write negative 2 is the base, power 3. If m times 7 times, we will write m7. Same thing here, if repeated 4 times, we will write 0.3 power 4. This one is 1 over 4 to the power of 5. And the n here is repeated, n is repeated 8 times, so it's n power 8. From the solution, in example 1, it is found that the value of index in an index form is the number of times the base is multiplied repeatedly. In general, a power n is a times a times a times dot 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 a with the n factor, and a is not equal to 0. So now let's complete this one. The base 5, so the index will be 3. Alright, so the referring to here, the base is 4, the index 7. This one, the base is half, the index will be 10. This one, the base will be m, and the index will be 6. This one, the index will be 0. This is 0.2 as base. Alright, and the index is 9, and x is the base, and the 20 is the index. 2 1/3 is the base, and the index is 2. 8 meaning that the index is 1. 8 to the power of 1 is 8. Right, so we will continue with how do you convert a number into a number in index form. So let's see this one. 64 is divided repeated by 2. So we keep on divide, and we count how many times, and the division is continue until 1 is obtained. So then 64 is 2 to the power of 6. Alright, so base 4. 64 is divided repeatedly by 4. So we will divide 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 times. So the division will continue until 1 is obtained. Same thing here. Base of 8. 64 is divided repeatedly by 8. So until we get 1, so the 64 is equal to 8 to the power of 2. So repeated multiplication method. So as you can see, we are going to use repeated multiplication method. And just now it was repeated division method, right? Repeated division method. Now is repeated multiplication method. So we can write 64 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that means 64 is 2 multiplied by 6 times. And then 4 times 4 times 4. So 64 is 4 power 3. And 8 times 8 is 64. So 64 can be written as 8 power 2 as well. So when method is easier, which method is easier to convert a number into a number in index number? Is it repeated division or repeated multiplication methods? Discuss. So we have learned there are 2 methods to convert the number into index form. So we will continue in the next lesson. Till then, bye bye.